Yes guys, I'm back with my Flower Pals today. Slightly different coloured shirt, but I think I could say it's still quite autumnal. We're going to be looking at costs of hair systems today because I get so many questions about this. So I figured I might as well make a video about it. We're going to be looking at lace, we're going to be looking at poly, we're going to be looking at monofilament, and we're going to be looking at silk. So this is the LaVivid website. Oh, they've got $60 off your first purchase. Might be worth considering, guys. They do quite a lot of sales, so it's always worth keeping your eyes peeled. There's 10% off a custom order here. So, hair systems. Let's start with lace. So I'm currently wearing a French lace. I'm wearing the Thor system. Which is one of LaVivid's most popular ones. It's this one here, the Thor men's French lace toupee. That's $319. And then you've got the Swiss, which is also the same amount of money. Now, Swiss lace it's a thinner system, so it's a finer base, so it doesn't last as long, but it is more comfortable, but it isn't quite as dense, which is why I slightly do prefer the Thor men's French lace. But they're the same price, so, you know, both good systems. You actually got quite a few here, which are all in the same ballpark, $319. These are 20% off at the moment, so that's worth bearing in mind. You might want to get in on that. These ones I'm really interested to actually give a go at some point. So LaVivid Victor clip-on hair systems. So these ones work, and it's $319 as well. So these ones work whereby you don't actually have an adhesive on the top of your head. You don't have a glue or a tape. You literally it just clips to your natural hair on the sides, and it actually looks quite comfortable. I suppose the only drawback is you have to take it off at night, but it might be suitable if, you know, I've had a few people come through to me on my comments saying my scalp is just too sensitive to tolerate a hair system. So clip-on hair systems might actually be something worth considering, and I may actually do a full video on this because there are quite a few people who do struggle keeping a system on for a week or longer. They get itchiness or redness or stuff like that, so the clip-on hair system is one I'd recommend in that instance. So with the lace ones, they're about $319, 20% off at the moment. What I do always recommend as well with LaVivid, I said this at the top of the video, it's always worth checking their website because, you know, my discount code aside, they have a lot of discount code, you know, they have a lot of discounts which become available, and they tend to happen around sort of national holidays in America and that kind of thing. Now, let's move on to the skins. So skin hair systems, my next one is going to be, my next one is a skin system. Second guessing myself for a second there. Now, one thing worth considering here is getting 3 at once. So getting yourself 3 hair systems at once, it takes the hassle out of having to order a new one every 2 or 3 months. You can buy 3 at once, and that can last you like 9 months to a year. So if it were me, that's what I'd do. That's what I've done in the past. It makes sense. So if you've got the capital available to do that, it's something I'd recommend. Now with skins, they are generally cheaper than lace because they basically involve, you know, less labor to make them, but they're still pretty good and they're still pretty robust. I'm a big fan of skins alongside the lace. In my opinion, skin is slightly more comfortable unless you go for a really thick one. So for instance, where is one of my favorites? So the Koyas is a nice one. My previous system was a Koyas, if you guys can remember back sort of like 3 or 4 months, and that lasted about 3 months. They also have the Mirage, so this one's a very popular one. I'd usually go for the single knotted one because that just does last longer, and it's V-looped at the front, so it looks more natural. You should be expecting to get like 3 months out of that, and it's cheaper than the lace. It's $279, so worth considering. Now there are also ones which I like the look of these ones which have sort of certain colours in them and stuff like that. It's something, again, I'm considering getting in the future. So this one here, the Travis, so it's like that bleach blonde sort of look, which I really quite like. It sort of gives me beach vibes. Maybe I'll get it for my honeymoon in summer, let's see. And also my stylist, my barber near where I live, she said, well, I could dye your natural hair to match with the colour of this system. So it's something I'm thinking of doing. It's definitely something I'm thinking of doing in summer. I don't think it'd work as well in winter, but summer's definitely worth considering. It does look cool. It does look cool. Right, so we've looked at the skins. This one looks interesting as well. I just don't have the right colour for it. But if you've got black hair, would you consider that? Let me know in the comments below. The Patrick White highlighted black hair system. I think it looks cool. It is a bit pricier, obviously, these two. But that's because they've been specifically designed to be sort of bleached to look a certain way. Let's move on to the monofilaments. Now, I know these aren't used by that many people, but if you're looking for longevity in a system and your scalp isn't sensitive, doesn't itch a lot with the system on, these might be for you. You know, they're only, you know, $300. Some are a bit more pricey, but they'll last you a long time. They will last you a long time. Yes, they're thicker. Yes, they're not quite as realistic. But if that doesn't bother you too much and you're just looking for durability, monofilament could definitely be for you. And you'd be saving so much money as well. Now, lastly, I wanted to look at silk because I'm yet to come across a person personally who wears a silk system, and they really intrigue me because they last quite a long time. And I did a short on this the other day about the Travis system, which can last up to a year. So I'll be really intrigued. Again, let me know in the comments box below if you've tried a silk system, but they look pretty good. They're $349. So imagine if this lasted you a year and it only cost you $349 for a year for your system. And obviously there's a ton of colours you can choose from. But you get bleach knots at the front as well for that sort of realistic hairline. And I'm just hypothesising here, but I would imagine that a silk base, given that I use a silk pillow at night and a silk do-rag, I imagine it'd be pretty comfortable. Now, I could be mistaken. Maybe it gets super hot in summer, but my hunch would be that it would be quite comfy to wear. Also, they're doing 20% off on this as well. I think it's off everything. So $279.20 might be worth considering. That's still there for another 5 days at the time of recording. So there you have it, guys. You know, 4 different bases. What's your preferred base? Do you prefer lace? Do you prefer skin? Are you a monofilament kind of guy or gal? Have you tried silk? That's actually what I'm more intrigued about more than anything. Have you tried a silk base? And what was your experience of it? Because it's something that I've definitely considered in the past. It's something I wouldn't write off in the future. Now, if you're enjoying my content, if you could please give this video a like, a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It would really help me and it would help this channel grow. More people find this content. And I hope this video in particular has helped you a little bit with navigating the big wide world of hair system purchases. Till next time, guys, bye for now.